Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever you're watching this, youth, I'm glad you're joining in to the VBS staycation this week. I hope that you will take this advice and treasure it as we're talking about how to be in our family together as God has designed for us, laying the foundation. And today we're going to talk about communication. I remember as a kid, one time when I was hanging out with my parents, we would travel all around the United States. We would go to fairs. We went to Indiana. We would always go to South Carolina Fair. We'd go to other places where there was festivities that my dad would take us for family friends. And after traveling around and going to fairs and growing up doing all that stuff, one idea popped in my mind one day. It was to start my own restaurant. Yes, and this restaurant would have fair food. I'm making you hungry now, I bet. We would go to the fair and you would have the funnel cakes and the deep fried candy bars, the turkey legs, the little mini donuts, and so on. All the stuff you can have at a fair and enjoy. I had an idea to create a restaurant and we would serve that food. Yes, it sounds crazy. Yes, it sounds out of the box. And there may be a place today that has that. I don't know. They stole my idea. I want my money. Just joking. But my parents, though, were willing to listen. And I remember my mom, as she listened, she would ask questions. She would just say it was a crazy idea. She would ask me, how would you do this? And as we think about that in communication and that simple story, one of the things I learned and we see from scripture is we need to be a better listener. My mom has always been a good listener. And we need to be able to listen to our parents, listen to our siblings. Proverbs 18:13 talks about how listening, if we don't listen, then there's going to be folly. And it's just like someone saying something, we totally ignoring it and just talking straight over them with our own thoughts. We could have missed something so valuable, so important that that person had to tell us. And that could be our own folly. The other thing of listening and communication, which is so important for you as a student, and as your parents may be listening, is focus more on your hearing than the speaking. James 1:19 says, it is better to be quick to hear and slow to speak. And it's so important to remember that. Always hear first before you speak. Recognize there is great value in the words you say that can speak either life or death. James says there's power in the tongue in James chapter 3. I want to encourage you to know that you can speak life into your family, to your parents, to be encouraging, even when difficult times are coming. Yes, our parents may not always hear us, but do it again. I encourage you that all the things you say will be speaking of encouragement and love. Knowing that, you know what? You might need to tell your parents that, hey, I'm frustrated. That, hey, I need help. That, hey, I'm just feeling this way. And let your parents know that they want to hear from you. It's important to make sure that you go to your parents at times. Tell them when you're struggling. Don't just turn your phone on. Don't just shut your door behind you and slam it. Don't just say later and just leave out. Your parents really do care, youth. So I want to encourage you to know that if you speak, as Colossians 4:6 talks about, with a great reverence and great just seasoning of salt into your words, that your parents will listen to you. That the communication you have, they will see as important. So make sure that you remember it is better to listen quick, slow to speak. Stay focused on the listening as you speak and recognize that there is power in your tongue and you can be influential into the lives of your family. Join us back tomorrow for day 3 of VBS. Can't wait to see you there. Have a good and blessed day.
Home improvement on a firm foundation. Home improvement when we're on staycation. Bible school.